Hello and welcome to episode 58, just had to check my show notes, of the Giddy Knits podcast. Today is Saturday, the 2nd of May, and as always, I'm Helen, and I am coming to you from Dundee in Scotland, where I live with my husband Tom and my two boys, Arthur, who is 6, and Jasper, who is 3. Hello, welcome back to everyone that watches week on week. Thank you so much for coming back, and hello to anyone that is new and checking out my podcast for the first time. For those of you that don't know, I am the dyer behind Giddy Yarns, and this is my knitting podcast. Right, where can you find me? Let's do that bit before I forget. You can find me elsewhere on the internet. On social media, you can find me on Instagram as either Giddy Yarns or Giddy Helen, and you can also find me on Ravelry as Giddy Helen, and we have a podcast group over on Ravelry as well. And you can find my hand-dyed yarn on my website, which is www.giddyyarns.com. I had a question the other week about Facebook and whether I was on Facebook. There is a Giddy Yarns Facebook page, but my personal Facebook, I don't really link to anything to do with the knitty people. It's basically just family and friends. I don't really use it that much, and I'm quite particular about how open and public my Facebook one is. So I hope you can understand that. But both my Instagrams are completely open and completely public, so you can follow me there. And I share a lot more on Instagram than I do on Facebook anyway. Right, what have I got for you this week? Let me have a little look. Right, let's start with, what have I got for you? Some announcements to start with. And I've got a few works in progress to show you, kind of some finished objects. I'll share a little something about something. I've got no yarny goodness this week. I've also got no new cast-ons this week. And then I've just got a little bit of shop news to tell you about at the end as well. So let's get straight into the announcements. There's quite a lot to talk about in announcements this week. But I will start straight up with the giveaway winner. Just before I recorded this episode, just before I sat down to record this episode, that makes more sense. I used the comment picker website, which I've never used before, to draw a prize winner from the YouTube comments of the last episode. And the winner is Verena B. I will put your name on the screen here. So congratulations, you have won the Down Sheepy Lane minis, and I've also popped a little set of my stitch markers in there. So this is all ready to go off to you. If you can get in contact with me, you can either email me at giddyyarns@gmail.com, or you can get in touch via Instagram or via Ravelry, any of those ways, and let me know your address and I will get it in the post to you. Yeah, so that is that one. Congratulations. And thank you again to Debbie of Down Sheepy Lane for the lovely giveaway. Knit-alongs. I keep mentioning these every week and I will keep mentioning them. But just quickly, we've got 2 knit-alongs running in the Ravelry group. First off, we have the Giddy Yarns knit-along, which is anything that uses at least 50% Giddy Yarns. Any finished objects that have been finished this year can be entered into that, and I will be drawing quarterly prizes. It's an ongoing knit along, so there's no end date. Just add your finished object to the thread and I will be drawing quarterly prizes. The next prize draw is at the end of June, I believe. We also have the 20th Century History Cal. That is coming to a close at the end of May. Go over to the Ravelry group to check out all the details in full, but pretty much any project that you can link back some way, in some tenuous way, it's fine, to the 20th century. So the 1900s, 1910s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, all the way up to the 1990s. And yeah, I will be drawing prizes for that at the end of May. Right, what else? May vlogs. If you are regular to my channel, you will have noticed a couple of videos popping up over the last couple of days. My May vlog series has started. So during May, I will be posting daily vlog videos to my channel. They'll be under 20 minutes in length, usually around the kind of 10-minute mark, I would imagine. There may be some days that are closer to 20 and there may be some days that are under 10. depends what I've been up to and what I've been talking about. They focus mainly on day-to-day life. Obviously, they're going to be quite different to last year, considering that we are still currently in lockdown in the UK and that schools are not open. But I will talk about whatever we're up to. So there will be some behind the scenes of work stuff. There will be homeschooling. There will be kids. There will be whatever we're doing, really. But yes, they will be daily. I will link at the end of this video, I think. Oh, although maybe I should have done that. My brain wasn't working. I'll change my end screen before I upload this, and I will link at the end of the video to the playlist for the May vlogs, so you can find them. Right, last thing, shop update. I have got a shop update, a big-ish shop update coming on the 9th and 10th, the 9th of May. As many of you may know, on the 9th and 10th of May this year, I should have been vending at the Cornish Fibre Festival, but obviously it's been postponed in light of the current circumstances. But I am planning to have a little bit of a special shop update on Saturday to celebrate. And what I'm going to do is the shop update will go live at 11 o'clock, or maybe just after 11 o'clock. No, I'll make it go live at 11 o'clock. The shop update will go live at 11 o'clock. I will also be going live on Instagram at 11 o'clock to share everything that is going in the shop update and just to chat to you and stuff like that. So that is the plan. If you want to see ahead of that, or if you're not on Instagram, then I will also be putting out a newsletter this week. It will probably go out Thursday or Friday, which will have all the information about the shop update, photos of all the colourways and information kind of about all the colourways in as well. You can find my newsletter. I think you can sign up to my newsletter on my website, and you can also, I'll put a link. That's what I'll do, because I can't remember. I know there's a link from Instagram to sign up to my newsletter, but I don't actually know how else you're supposed to get to it. I think I have a Shopify page, not a Shopify, a MailChimp page, that like a landing page. But anyway, I will put a link in the description box down below with a link to my newsletter sign up. I usually send out kind of a couple of newsletters a month ahead of shop updates, just with kind of what's coming up in the shop updates, a little bit of news about what's going on with the shop. Sometimes I share my favourite things, like if I've got some patterns that I like in the look of, yeah, that kind of thing. It's just a little newsletter and a little catch up to let you know what's going on with the shop. But yeah, that's the shop update. I've sped through this. I think I'm talking really fast. Sorry about that. My 9th of May. I will talk a little bit more in shop news at the end about what the shop update will have in it. That makes sense? Right, okay, let's move on then to some kind of finished objects. And these are slightly odd finished objects, really. Well, not odd in the current circumstances, but odd in the thing of I never expected that this would be something that I would ever make. So Scotland, which is obviously where I live, Nicola Sturgeon has now recommended that people in Scotland wear face coverings when they are at the supermarket or when they are in kind of confined public places. So I have made a couple of face masks. They are not perfect at all. The pleats are all over the place, mostly because I was too lazy to get the iron out. And I just wanted to kind of try them and whip it up. I think at some point I will get the iron out properly. My issue is, and this shows how little ironing I do, my biggest issue is I don't have an ironing board. So I know I can lay towels out, and that's what I would usually do. I would usually lay towels out and do it that way. But that involves effort, and I literally had about half an hour to whip these up. So I haven't pressed them or anything like that, which is why my pleats went completely wonky. But here we go. This is what I've done. I basically followed a tutorial on YouTube for the first one, and then a pattern that somebody recommended I used for the second one, although I've not used it very well. I've literally just followed the basic directions. I am planning to make a couple more and hopefully try and follow things a little bit better. But here we go. You can see what I've done. So this is the first one. It's a little bit bigger. Eek! I can't even put it on. I won't tie it. The biggest issue I have is that I wear glasses, so it steams up my glasses when I talk and when I breathe, which is a little bit of an issue. But that's the first one. And I didn't have any elastic, so I've literally just put ribbon in, and then I can just tie the ribbon at the back of my head, so that's absolutely fine. And then the other one is this one here. This is a little bit of a better fit, actually. I can't remember which way up is the top and which way up is the bottom. Well, I think I might have had it the other way up, actually. That one is a better fit. It still steams my glasses up completely, but yeah, that one is a better fit. I don't know. We'll have to see. And I don't know whether... I went to the supermarket the other day and nobody was wearing face coverings. It was very much just everybody was going about business as normal. So I don't know how much... It's not mandatory, it's just recommended. I don't know how much people are going to stick to it. But we'll see. But it got me to get my sewing machine out for the first time in years. Right, works in progress, knitting, actual knitting content. What have I got to share with you this week? So I have put a little bit of progress into 3 projects. So first off, living in this lovely bag from Jessie Marie Makes is my sock nest socks. So I am knitting these. I have finished the leg of this sock here. So this is the sock nest pattern, which is a pattern by Salapalooza Knits. I'm just going to try and put my hand in it so you can kind of see. There we go, it's a bit better. So you can see the lace pattern. These are really nice, really simple. It's vanilla sock on the back, so just plain stocking stitch on the back. And you've just got this one little lace and cable panel. It's a really simple pattern, really easy to memorise and really easy to keep track of. So the first one is at the leg. This is now ready for a heel. And the second one I haven't really made much progress on that, as you can see, just a little bit. I think I've done about 2 repeats. So I think I've got another 3 repeats to do, and then that one will be ready for the heel as well. And the yarn I'm using is this one here. It's a commercial sock yarn, and it is Bergère de France. It's their Gumi 50 in the Imprim CL colourway. And I'm really enjoying them. They're just great, kind of simple, nice socks. I just need to find more time to get on with them, to be honest. Time is a bit depleted at the moment. But they're making slow progress. The other thing I have made some progress on, which is living in my lovely little grey girl bag. These are her luxury drawstring bags, and I do love this one. Is my campsite cardie. Oh, I've just dropped everything. Come back. Right, is my campsite cardie. I've made a reasonable bit of progress on here. I was where the stitch marker is last week. So I am slowly working my way through the raglan increases. And as I said, this is the campsite cardie, which is a pattern by Alicia Plummer. Alicia Plummer? I never know how people pronounce that, but anyway. And it is growing slowly. And the stitch marker, by the way, in case anybody is curious, this is from the Corner of Craft, Hannah at the Corner of Craft. Yeah, it's growing slowly. This is quite a good one to just pick up and add a couple of rows to when the boys are quiet or entertained or not needing me for 5 seconds, because it's in a really simple place at the moment. The yarn I'm using for this is this lovely yarn here, and it is an Eden Cottage yarns. Now, I don't think I had the colourway label with me last week, but it is, as I said, Eden Cottage yarns, and it's their Milburn DK, which is 85% blue-faced Leicester. Oh, come on, camera, behave yourself. 85% blue-faced Leicester, 15% silk. Sorry, that's not focusing because I keep moving. There we go. And it is the Black Tulip colourway. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this. I just need to, again, find some time to put more work into it. That is a recurring theme at the moment. And then the other project that I was going to share that I've put a little bit of progress in, but I haven't shared for a couple of weeks, so I thought you'd like to see how it's coming along. Although, did I share this last week? Maybe I shared this last. I vaguely remember dropping stitches. Was that on the last episode or the episode before? I don't know now. So anyway, I have put some progress on it though. And that is my Verso hat. As you can see, last time I shared, I was just where this stitch marker is. So I've added an inch or so to it. It is slow going, and that is just because of my colourwork skills are not the best. It's going to need a really good block. I'm a little bit worried that it's going to be too big once I block it. But we will see, won't we? It doesn't really matter. It's a trial. It's a trial. But yeah, so it's coming along really, really nicely. I am still enjoying it. It's just, as I said, it's just slow progress because I'm not the most skilled colourwork knitter. Yeah, the colours that I'm using, the yarn that I'm using are my own yarn. So the blue is Mistral and the white is Hoarfrost, and it isn't actually a white. It is a very, very delicately speckled. You can just see some of the colour in there as well. A very sort of delicately speckled, undyed with kind of blues and greens and things on it. It's easier to tell in this game. And they're both on my DK base. So it's 100% merino DK. So yeah, I really, really, really want to get this done. I really want to find some time to sit down and work on it. Maybe I'll try and focus on it a little bit this weekend while I've got a little bit more knitting time. We will see. I didn't drop stitches this week, so that's good. Oh, and that's also living in a little grey girl bag. And then that's kind of all the work in progress that all the progress I've made on any works in progress this week, if that makes sense. I have added a few squares to my Cozy Memories blanket, but I haven't really picked that up very much. I'm hoping I'll pick that up tomorrow and get a little bit more done on that then. And what else have I done? That's about it, really. I haven't picked up Arthur's blanket. I really need to pick up Arthur's blanket. I've got one square to join. Or maybe I have picked it up because I hadn't joined it before. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm in the process of joining one of the rows, and I've got one more square to join to complete a row, which I can then join to the blanket. So I really do need to crack on with that. Maybe I'll try and get that done today, and then I can start bordering the rest of the squares that I've got crocheted up for it. I really want to get that finished because I'm so close to finishing it. I really want to get it done because I am desperate to start a new blanket. I really want to use all of these minis that I've got in here. In fact, this is completely off topic and I hadn't planned to talk about this at all, but I'm looking at the time and I'm only at like 18 minutes. So I've got a bit of time to spare. So I thought I would share this. So living in this box at the moment, taking out various bits and pieces, living in this box at the moment are lots and lots of mini bundles, as you can see. So I've got in here, I've got the 1910s Nostalgia Club, I've got a set of my Winnie the Pooh minis, I've got my Flower Power Fund Crocus minis, I've got more Nostalgia Club and more Nostalgia Club. And then I've also got the Flower Power minis from Erin at Henny Penny Makes, as well as the two spare ones, the two extra ones she sent me. I've got the tea minis from down Sheepy Lane, as well as the Changing Seasons Club minis there too. And I really want to make a big crochet blanket, but what I want to do is I'm going to do a hexagon one. Is it a hexagon? Yeah, I think it's a hexagon. I'm going to do a hexagon one. And I want each hexagon to use 10 grams or as close to 10 grams of yarn as I can get. I did crochet up a sample the other day to kind of see how big 10 grams would be, and it is perfect. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crochet up all the hexagons, and I think I'm just going to put them together without bordering them. I'm just going to join them all together to create a big blanket of lots of colourful minis. And I've got a few more mini skeins in my kind of mini skein stash, and also some leftovers and stuff as well, which I really want to do that with. So one of the things I'm going to talk about on the vlogs at some point in the next few days is I'm going to go through my mini skeins and my scraps, because I've just sorted through them all and organised them all, and I thought that would be fun to share. But yeah, I'm itching to cast on that blanket. Just pop all these bits and pieces in here. There we go. That's kind of my imminent box, my box of things that I want to cast on and want to do stuff with. Talking of imminent things, the other thing I wanted to share quickly was hopefully an oncoming project. Why not? Living in this lovely bag that I shared last week that Jessie sent me of Jessie Marie Makes, is a skein of yarn, and this is my brand new Serenity colourway. I absolutely love this, and I dyed it up because I needed something to cheer me up, and I just wanted to choose cheerful colours, and I just thought, you know what, I've got to steal one from the shop for myself and cast myself on a pair of really happy, fun socks. So that is what I'm going to do. I just haven't got round to sorting the needles out for it yet, and yeah, I need to cast myself on some socks with this. Or maybe some fingerless mitts. Maybe I'll cast on some fingerless mitts. There's a pattern for fingering weight fingerless mitts. I've forgotten what it's called. But I will share it if I use that pattern anyway. But maybe I will use that for those. Right, anyway, that's all the knitting content. I didn't bring myself up a drink this week, and now I really need one. Let's finish off with a little bit of shop news. So shop news wise, I mentioned at the beginning of the episode that I will be having a big shop update on the 9th of May. And seeing as the shop update kind of coincides with the weekend that I would have been vending at the Cornish Fibre Festival, I will be launching a brand new collection of Cornish inspired colourways. Now, for those of you that don't know, I grew up in Cornwall. We lived in Helston. My parents still live in Helston. Tom, my husband, also grew up in Cornwall. His parents still live down there as well. So Cornwall has a really special place in my heart. And as a result, I thought a Cornish collection to coincide with the Cornish festival would be kind of perfect. And I'd been planning to do the collection for the show anyway, and I just thought, do you know what, I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, why not? So I will have 3 brand new colourways. One is going to be inspired by Flora Day, which is a very special event that happens in Helston every year on the 8th of May. Basically, everybody gets dressed up and they have special dances through the streets. So there's the morning and evening dance, which was traditionally the servants' dance, and you get paired up in like you pair up with somebody, so it's a girl and a boy, and then you're put into a 4 as well, and the dance works within a 4. It's hard to explain. What I will try and do actually is I will try and link down below a couple of videos so that you can kind of see what Flora Day is all about. Yeah, so you have the morning and the evening dance, which was traditionally the servants' dance. Then there's the children's dance. I danced in the children's dance all through school. And basically all the primary schools and the secondary school in Helston, all the kids dance in that. Well, you don't have to, you're not forced into, you choose to. But to be fair, most of the kids choose to dance. It's a big Helston tradition. And then they also have the midday dance, which is the massive one. And that's the one where kind of historically all the landowners and all the kind of business owners and stuff in the town would have got together. And I mean, the men dance in top hats and tails, and the women dance in amazing kind of ball gowns. Even now, that's just what you wear. I mean, the morning and the evening dance, the girls wear kind of summer dresses and the boys wear shirt and tie. And the children's dance, the girls and boys are all dressed fully in white. So the girls wear white dresses and the boys wear white shirts and white trousers. It's quite amazing, actually. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it, really. And the 12 o'clock dance, the midday dance, is the big one. It goes in and out of some of the more prominent businesses in the town. It goes all the way around the town, and it's amazing. And then you've got Helston Town Band play all the music and do all the dances for it, do all the the procession and everything for it. It's really hard to explain. And then you also have the Hallentow, which is in the morning, which is kind of the more pagan aspect of it, and everybody's dressed up in costumes, and it kind of tells the story of Flora Day, the kind of more pagan story of Flora Day. But yeah, it's quite an event anyway. And then all of the businesses and a lot of the houses in the town will decorate outside their houses, outside the businesses and the fronts of the businesses, with greenery, bluebells and gorse. So it's quite a thing to witness. And yeah, this year it's been cancelled, which is the only time it's ever really happened. It's quite crazy to think that Flora Day is not going ahead. But if you ever get the chance in the future to get to a Flora Day, then I would highly recommend it. It is such an amazing atmosphere and quite an event, really. So anyway, I'm having a Flora Day colourway, which is inspired by bluebells and greenery. And then I'm also going to do a cream tea colourway, because you can't have Cornwall collection without Cornish cream tea, can you? And then my mind's gone blank and I can't quite remember what my third colourway was going to be. I've got all my inspiration and everything written downstairs. And then I'm also going to release a set of mini skeins, a Cornish mini skein collection, which will be inspired by things like tin mining, Roskilly's ice cream, kind of all the kind of things that make me think of Cornwall. So yeah, that will be released on the 9th of May. Again, if you want to keep up to date with kind of those colourways and stuff like that, then sign up to my newsletter or keep an eye on Instagram, because I will be sharing them in the lead up to the update. Right, quickly now, because we're creeping up to the 30 minutes and I want to keep this under 30 minutes. May Nostalgia Club is now live. That went live yesterday, and the pre-orders for that will stay open until the end of May. All the information about the club and what it involves is on my website. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, head over there and have a little look. And finally, I wanted to announce one yarn show that I may be vending at this year. I have been accepted to vend at Glasgow School of Yarn on the 24th and 25th of October. Now, obviously, we still don't know what's going to be happening later in the year, and how likely it is that yarn shows and things like that will be able to go ahead come September, October. At the moment, I'm still waiting to hear about the Wool Monty in June, and what's kind of happening about that. They're trying to work out what they're going to do, whether they're going to cancel or whether they're going to postpone, or quite what's happening. I don't know about that yet. But other than that, I've got Perth and now Glasgow School of Yarn in September and October. If they don't go ahead this year, then I will be doing them next year. So I'm kind of the mind that, well, I'll accept the fact that they're having me and say, you know, that's brilliant, and I'll pay my deposits and I'll pay stall fees where needed and stuff like that. And most of the businesses are then rolling that over to next year. And for me, that's fine, because it means that next year, when things hopefully can go ahead, I've got 5 shows already paid for, ready to go. Yeah, fingers crossed that by October it can go ahead, but I'm not convinced. I don't think it's looking likely that events that involve people getting together like that are going to be going ahead this year, but we will see. Glasgow are talking about doing an online show if they can't do a physical show though, so hopefully we'll get something like that. Anyway, I am going to go before I keep saying anyway and keep waffling, and I will see you all. Oh, I won't see you all next week, because of doing the Instagram live and the big shop update and everything next Saturday. I don't think I'm going to record a podcast as well next week. I might do. We'll see how life goes. But if not, I will see you in 2 weeks' time. But remember that I will be putting up daily vlogs. So you'll get your daily dose of me. Anyway, right, I am going to leave it now, and I will talk to you all soon. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, stay safe. Bye.